Hey guys, Mark from Gunpla Network, and today I'm bringing you my review of the Real Grade Destiny, courtesy of Gunpla Builds, an awesome hobby shop here in Sydney, my favourite place to hang out. Check out the link in the description below. Alright, let's take a look at the frame. So this is early Real Grade Syndrome. Well, sorry, I should say early Real Grade Syndrome. The early Real Grade frame. It has a few slight issues here and there, but it is fairly weighty once you got the pack and stuff on it, so understandable. Pretty good looking. I've painted mine, which you'll see later. But overall, pretty good for out of box. Alright, here it is armored up with no real accessories on it, obviously, so you've got the big backpack, sword, gun and stuff to go. But overall, this kit, I didn't mind the colours, but as you'll see later on, I've given mine a paint job to something I just wanted to experiment and play with. It's got a lot of surface detail. It wasn't too bad to build. I'm not a fan of this blue. It kind of just looks a little tacky out of the box, but if you gave it a clear gloss and some panel lines with the stickers, I think it'd look pretty good. And that face mask with the red kind of tear look going through it is awesome. Alright, on to the accessories, and this is everything that you get with the kit, which is a awesome amount of stuff. 2 shields, backpack. Alright, let's take a look at it. Alright, we'll start with the backpack first, because, you know, this is huge. So, it's obviously got the real grade kind of, you can get an effect expansion set, I believe it's called, with the Wings of Light, Destiny Wings of Light, that'll come out between all of those kind of like little wings and the big wings. Overall, I found this to be on par or just as good as the Strike Freedom pack when expanding and stuff. You just need to be careful with the wing joints when you're twisting and moving those around. It looked like they were kind of flexing and that could cause stress marks if you're not careful. That was in the open mode. Now in the kind of like folded down mode, it hides a lot of the little wings and you only see the top and middle one. The red, black and blue is an interesting combination. I'm not sure on the colors there. But like I said, I think if you did a brown panel wash in the wings there and some grey on the black might be nice. I did have one problem. The cover there that sits over the thruster, I guess, on the backpack kept popping off. That was quite loose on mine. So you've got the shield. Now this is kind of similar to the Sword Impulse or the Impulse Gundam shield in that it has a close mode, which it's in now, and then it has an open mode, which it slides open on. And that's pretty cool. I do like shields with gimmicks. Overall, it's fairly compact and holds on the arm quite well. So here's the shield in its open form, so you kind of got like an extra color there, the red piece inside. You could paint that if you wanted to. It's got a little bit of detail on it, and overall, it's just a really nice shield. Okay, let's take a look at the rifle. Now, this rifle is kind of like just many of the Seed rifles. It's rectangular, straight. It's got a back grip, a foregrip which moves. It's 2 or 3 pieces together. It manages to hide kind of most of the seam line that's on top, I guess, from the 2 joining bits with that white cover. It's got what almost looks like a flashlight scope compared to a, I guess like a sight on top. I do like the grill vent style at the front there. Overall, pretty detailed weapon. Now, I don't like these shields that come with the Seed kits because they just expect you to slap a huge sticker on there to colour it so it comes as one big clear piece. What I've done with mine that you'll see later is I painted it with some clear paints. I was trying to go for a purple look and it didn't quite work out the way I was expecting. This is detailed, but I think it's better if you paint it rather than use the sticker. Here's the long gun. I think that it kind of borrowed off the Buster Gundam almost look in the green, black and red. Now this can go into the backpack and then it kind of shows you to swivel that around and it folds down and around and so we can hold it that way. I guess you could take it out of there and hold it solo as well in 2 hands, but it's got one grip there on the outside for the left hand to hold on to. The sword. I love, as you know with the Sword Impulse, gigantic swords for mechas. This thing is no exception. It is awesome. It is kind of like, I guess, more looks like the Strike, Perfect Strike sword. I've forgotten the name of it. I don't have it handy. I think it's something like the Excalibur anti-ship sword. This is awesome. I love this one. It's got a white piece down there Now, I guess I should probably be silver, but it's white. Light blue overall with a black handle grip, and it comes with a beam effect part. Super awesome weapon. Now, onto the hands. So you can see here, you've kind of got those, it's got a hand weapon. It's like a death grip. It can grab onto with a beam effect, I think, and, you know, explode heads and stuff. You've got the real grade hands, which are terrible, don't hold much, and then you've got a trigger finger hand there. So, not bad overall, and there's the action base adapter, which I don't know if I trust at this point, but I guess we'll find out later on. Here's the beam effect parts. So there's your anti-ship sword long piece there, and then you've got those kind of, they're like the Justice boomerang ones that come out of the shoulder, which they're the effect parts here for the two pieces there, which come off of the shoulder weapons. And overall, very nice effect parts. Okay, here he is, fully loaded up with pretty much everything except for that clear shield, which I didn't like. So he's got the pack on, and I am displaying him with the action base propping him up. Purely because he is now so back heavy, I could not get him to stand. And if I could get him to stand, I couldn't get him to stand rotating without falling over for more, 3 seconds of standing time. So, yes, he can stand. He can't stand very well. You are better off having him on an action base mounted, or just like I did with an action base propping him up. Let's take a look at the articulation. So this is the kit overall. I like those. That's a sticker I've put on there. I probably will reverse wash eventually for that, but the sticker doesn't do a bad job. His head will look down, look up, kind of, not a whole lot. Not much of a head tilt, and it can go all the way around if you twist it. The neck and neck guard and the, I guess, chest neck guard will rub on each other. Now the arms can go up pretty high. That was without much movement of the shoulder. If you pop that out and move up even higher, you can almost get the last shot pose from the RX-78. Twists on the arm peg all the way around, no surprises there. You can pull forward and get a decent amount of lean there to help him hold some of those weapons. The arm has a really good bend with some armor sliding there in the middle of the elbow. Torso, you are going to hit the front end side skirts, but he does have a nice bit of back wobble, which I think is actually back and forward movement, which is part of the problem with that heavy pack on. The front skirts will move up there. Side skirts, yeah, no, the front skirt will pop apart. I've actually found, because this is the early style where they pegged it around a, there's a peg coming out of the waist joint for the front skirt and the back skirt, and they're snapped over the top of that peg, two front pieces and back piece. So I found that was an issue with, say, Exia and stuff, earlier real grades. It does happen, and on this one it was happening a bit, so you can see there that just keeps popping off. Side skirt's got a bit of movement in them. They're 3 pieces layered on. So a nice bit of detail. Let's just take that off. Yep. If we move that forward, I do like the legs on this guy. He's got a huge knee guard there, which hits the underside of the skirt. But if you do that, it all pops up and pops out. That's just a peg. That's fine, guys. It happens if you're a bit forceful with it. But like I said, it's got a nice, like, even the kind of the armor sliding there all the way up. Some of the shin slides down as well. Just be careful, you can snap it if you are not. You think that there's a back piece of armor there which hides a vernier as well. Not a fan of the feet. On mine are feeling a little floppy, hoping some paint tightens those up. The back skirts are individually movable, but they're the same as the front and can come apart. There's that back armor I was talking about on the vernier for the leg. So overall, pretty good articulation. Here he is, guys. I went for a kind of a dark bluey purple. I was talking with Chris Pabs and Ryan and some of the guys in the chat and Nino, and they were saying, yeah, purple looks great. And I agree. I did a gloss black. The weapons are in a navy LIN grey, I think it is, for Mr. Color. The purples are actually, the purple light and dark there are actually custom mixes, which I could not repeat, and I have 2 bottles of for the rest of my life. The yellow is just Mr. Color yellow with some red in it and some black. a light grey and a white. Alright, comparison time. Here is the real grade Destiny with the real grade Justice, because he was in the front of my cabinet and he is also a big kit for the real grades. The Justice is missing a kneecap there and he's feeling a bit floppy, so I'm going to paint him next, but overall, most of the real grade seed kits aren't too bad. Here it is with the Master Grade Freedom 1.0, which I rescued. So that RG Destiny is packing quite a bit of size for a 144 there next to a 1100. Okay, here he is sporting that big backpack rifle. So like I said, he can stand, you can do things, it's just, I felt uncomfortable leaving it on its own, and I guarantee the moment you leave this in the cabinet and walk away, it'll fall over when you're not looking. So I'm using a action base, few pieces that I have that you can use to prop that up. And if you get the action base 4 or 5, one of the two, it comes with multiple pieces so you can display a few kits. Here it is up on an action base. The adapter did hold it and it was reasonably solid. You just got to be careful when you're doing it. When I took this apart to paint this, I will say I forgot how many pieces are in a real grade to paint. There was a lot. Should probably talk about, you can see through the legs there and the elbows, the frame is actually in a gunmetal from SMS. And overall, it's looking pretty good. I dig it with the shield and the rifle, the wings up. That's not a bad pose to have it in, but I feel like the sword is definitely my favorite weapon of the bunch for this kit. Here it is with the open expressive hand that is meant to be like grabbing and he can destroy. I think there's a laser that shoots out of his hand or something. I'm not the biggest Seed Destiny fan. It's round, you can see there. This shield, here it comes. So that ended up a little bit of a darker blue than I was expecting. I did a clear red, then a clear blue, and I kind of expected it to make purple, but maybe you have to mix that up before you do it. Alright guys, that brings me to the end of this review. I will say, not a bad kit. If you're a Destiny fan and you want all of the real grades, by all means go ahead and get this. If you're just a real grade collector, you're probably not missing much by not getting this kit. Overall though, I found it to be a decent build considering it was middle of the range. I love the huge sword. If you're a fan of swords and mechas together, paint it up. It'll stiffen everything. Not to the point where it can stand, but I'll be displaying mine with the sword and hand probably in the cabinet on that leaning pose with the base supporting it from behind. And that's overall fine for me. Well guys, end of the review. I definitely recommend this kit despite its issues. Painting will help a lot of those areas, or even just gloss coating everything to tighten up the joints. Big thanks to Ryplar Build for sending this kit over. If you want to check out his shop in Sydney, it's based at Cogra near the train station. Check out our link in the description below. Leave a like, a comment. Have you built this kit? Let us know what you thought. And I'll catch you on the next review. Keep building.